I think there's so many ways that I can continue to get better, and I feel like there were so many ways I could have been even better this year.
I think we're used to it. I mean, I think if anything, it probably gives them a little fire. It's like, this is our home crowd, this is our...
Just watched Caitlin Clark's leaked European practice footage. She hit a half-court shot that made the whole gym go silent. Then she did it again and again. The European coaches couldn't believe what they were seeing. But that's not even the best part. Wait until you see what happened when they tried to guard her with their best defender. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's WNBA rookie salary, just $76,000. That's not a typo. The most electrifying player in college basketball history is about to make less than the average entry-level office job, but European teams are looking at those numbers and laughing. These European clubs aren't just offering bigger salaries, they're throwing in the whole package. We're talking about a fully furnished apartment in the heart of the city, a personal driver, and get this, they're even covering all her taxes. That's something WNBA players can only dream about while they're sharing apartments and taking commercial flights between games. You know who figured this out years ago? Diana Taurasi. When she went to Russia, they paid her $1.5 million for one season. That's 20 times what Clark would make as a WNBA rookie. And Taurasi wasn't even putting up the kind of numbers Clark is showing in practice right now. But here's where it gets wild. European teams aren't just matching Taurasi's old contract. They're looking at Clark's marketability, her social media following, and those insane practice clips that keep going viral. They're offering a complete package that would make WNBA executives lose sleep. We're talking salary, housing, transportation, plus endorsement deals with major European brands that want to get in on the Clark phenomenon.
Leader, one of the best teammates I've ever had, so it's fun getting to watch her have some success.
You mentioned a tough start.
How much better is Indiana's defense?
A lot better. I think Coach Christie's probably most proud of that. I think in the second half we were really good. What they finished with 75 points. We usually win when we hold teams.
The European League just leaked their actual offer to Clark, and it's absolutely massive. They're putting up a package worth multiple times her WNBA rookie salary, plus all those extra benefits. And unlike the WNBA, where players often have to head overseas in the offseason just to make ends meet, this would be her only job. This isn't just about money, it's about respect. In Europe, women's basketball stars live like basketball royalty, private jets to games, luxury accommodations, personal chefs, the kind of treatment that shows they value their athletes. They're not just paying Clark, they're investing in her as the future face of European basketball. Think about what this means for women's basketball. Clark could completely change the game by showing that Europe isn't just some backup plan, it's a legitimate first choice for top talent. She'd be living in a beautiful European city, treated like the superstar she is, making real money, and playing in front of some of the most passionate basketball fans in the world. And speaking of those fans, you won't believe how they're already reacting to just the possibility of Clark coming to Europe. The practice footage was just the beginning. Those practice clips hit different when you understand what European basketball crowds are really like. In America, women's games average 394,000 viewers, but in Europe, the arenas are so packed, you can feel the floor shaking. And Clark's first practice already drew a bigger crowd than some WNBA regular season games. The culture around women's basketball in Europe is just built different.
Yeah, I thought the game was really fun. Obviously, once we got it to 8, I wish we could have kept that a little bit better. We didn't execute really. It's fun to kind of look back. Like, people always ask me, like, what's your favorite road arena? And I'm like, they're all so different and unique in their own way. And
in Russia and Turkey, fans aren't just showing up. They're creating an atmosphere that makes NBA games look tame. We're talking about packed arenas with 15,000 passionate supporters, bringing drums, flags, and choreographed chants. These aren't casual fans checking their phones during timeouts. They're die-hard supporters who know every player's stats and follow their careers like they're tracking their own family members. When Clark's practice footage hit social media, European basketball Twitter exploded. One fan's reaction summed it up perfectly. "I can't believe how amazing she looks. Caitlin is a star." But it wasn't just random fans losing their minds. The entire European basketball community started buzzing about how her playing style could transform their leagues. You know what's wild? Clark's first practice session in Europe drew more people than some WNBA regular season games. The gym was so packed that security had to turn people away at the door. And these weren't just curious onlookers. These were basketball-obsessed fans who showed up hours early just to watch her warm up. They were analyzing every move, every shot, every pass, like they were watching Game 7 of the finals.
He kind of bobbled the pass, then got an and one, missed a free throw, and we came up with it, and then Kel scored. I think that definitely gave us some confidence and allowed us to kind of settle in. And we just continued to work and get better and be positive. And that's probably easy with a young group. Like obviously we got some young players, but our vets were really good too.
In Europe, women basketball players aren't just athletes, they're celebrities. Fans wait outside team hotels for autographs, line up for hours at meet and greets, and treat these players like the superstars they are. When you're a star player in Europe, you're not just another athlete, you're royalty. And from what we're seeing, they're already rolling out the red carpet for Clark. But here's what's really getting European fans excited. It's not just about Clark's shooting or her flashy passes. They're looking at how her style of play matches up with the European game. Because while the WNBA might have its own way of doing things, European basketball is a whole different animal. The physicality in Russia, the technical precision in Turkey. We're about to see how Clark's game transforms when she steps onto these courts. The question isn't just whether Clark can handle European basketball. It's whether European basketball is ready for Caitlin Clark. Because once you understand how these teams play, you'll see why this could be the perfect match. While everyone's focused on Clark's highlight reel from Iowa, European scouts are seeing something completely different in her game. They've spotted 3 specific skills that perfectly match their style of play. Skills that most American fans don't even notice. And these skills could make her even more dangerous overseas. Russian basketball hits different. We're talking about teams that practice with military-style discipline, where players are expected to battle through screens like they're fighting for position in the paint. The physicality is so intense that even seasoned veterans need time to adjust.
You can tell they're just there for good basketball. They're almost cheering for both teams, it feels like. They're all standing up there at the end.
We've honestly struggled to guard this team, and I think it just speaks to their offensive firepower that they had, like Enrique and Sabali's really good. And then
Players come back with bruises from practice sessions that would make WNBA refs blow their whistles non-stop. But cross over to Turkey, and you'll see a completely different game. Turkish teams run offensive sets that look like they're playing chess at full speed. Every player needs to read and react in split seconds, making quick decisions while running complex plays. It's the kind of fast-paced, technical basketball that rewards high basketball IQ, exactly what Clark brings to the table. The WNBA's 3-month season feels like a sprint compared to Europe's marathon. European teams play for 10 straight months, with multiple games per week, plus domestic cup competitions. That's not even counting the intense practice schedule. 2 sessions a day, 6 days a week. No load management, no taking it easy. Just pure basketball, day in and day out. Here's the bombshell. 3 of Europe's top teams are in a bidding war for Clark right now. Fenerbahce from Turkey, UMMC Ekaterinburg from Russia, and Perfumerias Avenida from Spain are all putting together massive offers. Each team sees Clark fitting their system in a different way, but they all agree on one thing. She could dominate European basketball from day one. The practice intensity in Europe would shock most American players. These aren't your typical shoot-arounds with some light scrimmaging. European coaches run practices like they're preparing for war. Every drill has a purpose. Every mistake gets corrected immediately, and players are expected to maintain full intensity for hours. European coaches don't just want players who can score. They want complete basketball players who understand the game at a deeper level.
it's definitely fun for us. It's fun for a lot of fans in the Midwest that, cheered us on when we were in college.
Right there to congratulate me or just be somebody that's offered advice. So to pass somebody like her, I'm just forever thankful that she's been such.
They spend hours breaking down film, teaching the nuances of pick-and-roll coverage, and drilling players on reading defensive rotations. It's the kind of detailed approach that could take Clark's already impressive basketball IQ to another level. The pressure on Clark to make this decision is building. The WNBA's opening day is getting closer, and these European offers aren't going to stay on the table forever. But with the way the WNBA has been treating its stars lately, you have to wonder if they realize what they're about to lose. Remember how packed those arenas were during Clark's college games? The WNBA's about to see the opposite. Empty seats are becoming more common, ratings are plummeting, and the league's biggest nightmare is becoming reality. But the scariest part? Clark might not be the only star planning an escape. The numbers tell a brutal story. When Clark isn't on the court, WNBA viewership doesn't just dip, it crashes by nearly 50%. Look at what happened in the playoffs. The Aces-Liberty matchup only pulled in 929,000 viewers. That's a massive drop from the millions who tune in when Clark plays. And now, with empty seats showing up at games across the league, team owners are starting to sweat. But this isn't just about missing out on ticket sales. Clark brought something special to women's basketball. She boosted WNBA ratings by an incredible 142%. Every time she stepped on the court, social media lit up. Merchandise flew off the shelves, and new fans discovered the sport. Without her, the WNBA isn't just losing a player. They're losing their biggest marketing opportunity in years. Here's what's really driving Clark's potential move to Europe: respect. When Ice Cube offers you $5 million to play less than 10 games in the Big Three, it shows exactly how much star players are worth. That's more than 6 times what the WNBA is offering for an entire season. European teams saw that number and realized they needed to step up their game. And step up they did. The scariest part for the WNBA? Other stars are watching closely. They're seeing these massive contracts from Europe, the better treatment, the packed arenas, and they're starting to ask questions. Why stay in a league that's struggling to pay its stars when Europe offers so much more? It's not just about the money anymore, it's about being valued as an athlete.
This was our last regular season one at home. You know, it's fun, it's on the weekend, it's an afternoon game, like those are just better. That loves to work, so it won't be hard for me to want to get in the gym and to get even better, and
League executives are panicking behind closed doors. Even WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert is worried about keeping talent in the league. They're watching their biggest star possibly walk away, and they know they can't match these international offers. Every day Clark gets closer to signing with a European team, the pressure builds on the WNBA to make major changes. This could be the wake-up call the WNBA needs, because right now, they're not just risking losing Caitlin Clark, they're risking the future of women's basketball in America. And with every passing day, those European offers start looking better and better. The question isn't just whether Clark will go, it's how many stars might follow her lead. So what's Clark actually thinking about all these European offers? She just dropped a surprise on everyone. She's planning to stay right here in the US during the off-season. Instead of heading overseas, she's focusing on personal development, and even joked about playing some golf until Indiana gets too cold. But her decision to stay home is sending shockwaves through women's basketball. The WNBA can't ignore what's happening anymore. European teams are raising the bar with their offers, their facilities, and their treatment of players. Every star who stays in America is now making a choice to leave serious money on the table. The pressure's building on the WNBA to step up their game, because next time a generational talent like Clark comes along, they might not be so lucky. The league needs to change fast, or they might find themselves watching their biggest stars shine on European courts instead of American ones.